here's an interesting stat. Every halving adds a zero, meaning it increases the market cap of the Bitcoin asset by tenfold. So we went from 1 to 10 in the first halving. Then we went from 10 to 100, from 100 to 1,000, went to 10,000 in the last one. And I think, January, February next year, we go to the 100K. And we'll surpass that, because then the next one after that, brace yourselves, right, is 1 million 4 years later in 2028. People say that could never happen. No, it will happen. It's just going to take time.
American hedge fund manager and Bitcoin advocate Mark Yusko recently shared his opinion about the ongoing rally in the cryptocurrency industry. According to the veteran investor, whose investment management firm advises pension funds, endowments, and wealthy individuals, there are a lot of events occurring in the macro environment that could further temporarily impact Bitcoin and crypto asset prices. In a recent interview with Paul Barron, the renowned hedge fund manager discusses his macro outlook for 2023. He explains that several economic indicators show that the U.S. economy has been in recession since at least April last year. However, Yusko describes the recession as a shallow one, similar to what occurred during the 2001 economic decline. As a result, Yusko believes we are not out of the woods yet, despite the ongoing market rallies. In the same vein, he does not believe we are hedging close to some sort of economic calamity either, even if the Federal Reserve continues its aggressive interest rate hike campaign against inflation. On the cryptocurrency market, Yusko, like millions of other market participants, is looking forward to the 2024 halving and the huge impact he believes it would have on crypto asset prices. In fact, Yusko predicts that this rally will take Bitcoin to the much-expected $100,000 price tag per coin. He also predicts that the coin will hit $1 million during the 2028 halving event. But Yusko is quite aware of the negatives too. In his interview, he also discusses some liquidation issues, fundamentals, and technicals, and how they could affect the leading crypto assets price in the coming months. Before we listen to Mark Yusko's interview, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever we upload a video. You can also drop your comments and observations about the interview and the state of the crypto market in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps our videos reach more viewers. Thanks and enjoy the video.
There's a interesting thing going on this year, Paul, that hasn't happened for a long time. So years ago, there used to be something called the January effect, where people would sell their losers in December for the tax loss.
Right.
And they had to wait 30 days to buy them back. So in January, all the stuff that was horrible the year before did really, really well. And it was known as the January effect. And it was really small cap and micro cap names by and large. And that's where the excess returns for the year came from. Well, they changed the tax laws a number of years ago that made mutual funds sell by October 31st, not December 31st. And so the January effect got shifted to November. So if you look in the middle of November, just about every year, you have this 2-3 week period where the crappiest companies, right, the things that were just horrible all year, did really well. And you didn't get the January effect. Well, this year, last year was so bad. Like everything was down. Stocks were down, bonds were down, small cap, large cap, international, emerging markets, everything was down, crypto. So the regular folks actually did some tax loss selling. So those tax loss sales were of the horrible companies like Peloton and Zoom and AMC.
Right.
And they now are rallying in a huge short squeeze. And Bitcoin, I think I have this right, Binance just had over a $500 million collapse of shorts on their platform. So we are way oversold. way overbought. We are as overbought as I've ever seen Bitcoin. So I still believe we're in crypto spring. Crypto winter's over. We got through Hurricane Sam, which I didn't anticipate. And that's where we went. We were at kind of 18,000, and that's what I thought was the bottom. And then we had Hurricane Sam that took us down to 15. And now, when we got back to 18, that to me is spring. Spring is choppy, ugly, not really up and to the right. Up and to the right is summer. Summer's still 3, 4, 5 months off in anticipation of the halving. But, so could we have a retracement back to 18 before we head? We're not. There are a lot of people saying we're going to be new all-time highs this year. Possible.
That's interesting.
Definitely likely in early 24. if Barry and Grayscale are forced to liquidate GBTC, which, there's a bunch of shareholders that are kind of coming together to try to force that issue, right? Closed-end funds can get taken over by their shareholders and can be forced to liquidate. Now, the bar is a little higher with GBTC, as I understand it, with the structure. Like a lot of closed-end funds, you only need about 10, 11% of shareholders to get a special vote. I think the number here is higher than that, maybe even as high as 50. I don't know that number exactly. But even so, if, and that's capital I, capital F, if GBTC Trust was forced to close and we basically sold 10 billion, now probably closer to 11 or 12 billion dollars of BTC, that's about 10% of available circulating supply, right? Not total supply, but remember, 65, 70% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in 3 years, is not going to move. So the free float is what we have to talk about. And GBTC owns, as I understand it, about 10% of the free float. Now, if that were liquidated, everyone says, "Oh, it'd be horrible and be straight down." Well, remember, for every seller, there's a buyer, and I think there's a lot of money waiting to get back in, and so I think it would be bad short term, but I don't think it'd be a disaster, and I think we could handle it. Now, I also think Barry has said you can take GBTC when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. Okay, that's pretty strong. So I don't think it's going to get liquidated. So if it doesn't get liquidated, I think we're in pretty good shape.
In his interview, Yusko also discusses the ongoing crypto market rally that has taken Bitcoin near 5-month highs. Despite his bullish long-term predictions for the crypto asset, the Morgan Creek founder and managing director is not completely ruling out the possibility of a short retracement to around $18,000. However, Yusko insists that even such retracement will have the markings of spring and not a cold, terrible winter. And after spring comes summer with lots of amazing possibilities.
When I say pretty good shape, I mean, I think this is a short squeeze. I think we'll have a retracement, a pullback. I think it's still positive. And short of a liquidation of GBTC, I think we are in the beginnings of the accumulation phase again, right? In the 4-year cycle, we have crypto winter, spring, summer, and fall. We were in winter, now we're in spring. Summer's still coming. And summer is when you get the big parabolic move, and then fall, you get the kind of consolidation and heading back into winter. So I think all that is good. The one thing that I do struggle a little bit with is the technicals versus the fundamentals. So a lot of people are looking at technicals, and yeah, the technicals look good. You got a rising, 50-day breaking through the declining 200-day. That's a big positive. We got a momentum thrust out of the bottom, but that oversold RSI is troubling, right? Our thing about RSI, it doesn't have any plateaus, right? Never, ever, ever does it go up into the 70s and stay there. It goes up higher than you think, and then it goes back down. It's a oscillating pattern for a reason. So there's those. But the thing that is more concerning for me is the fundamental part, right? What Sam et al., and again, I don't think it was Sam or Caroline, I think they are useful idiots of some much smarter, bigger, sinister plot. I think that damaged credibility and confidence. And that's what new markets need. If you think of anything, think about the first time you went to put your credit card into the internet. How scary that was, how uncomfortable you were with the technology. Was it really encrypted? Would it get stolen? Was I safe? Now we don't think about it. We throw our credit card around everywhere and no big deal because now we're comfortable with the tech. When there are breaches still to this day, when Visa gets breached and a bunch of data gets stolen, people say, "Oh, I'm not going to use my credit card for a while."
Look right
and
past
so
it.
damaging confidence is what slows technological adoption. So look, is Bitcoin a better form of money? 100%. Is Bitcoin a better form of gold? 100%. Is Bitcoin the future of value transaction? 100%, right? Having a source of truth on chain as opposed to trust in intermediary financial institutions is a superior model. It just is. It's as superior as you and I using the internet to communicate instead of smoke signals or the old landline telephone, right? This is superior.
For sure.
Although I don't like the fact that it's HD. I look better in fuzzy. But I do worry that we need confidence to come back. We need some trusted parties, people with good reputation to really get out in front. I urge the Winklevoss twins to take that role. Trustworthy guys, smart guys. They're the victims here. If you think about what happened to them,
right?
Genesis welched on the loan, right? Okay, you could argue that Gemini made a risk management mistake by having counterparty risk that was too concentrated. You could make that argument. I probably wouldn't, but you could. And full disclosure, like we're owners. I mean, we're not big owners, but we're owners. But I like those guys, and I think they are the types of people that could really do a good job helping to engender trust.
As of press time, the market seems to be waiting with bated breath for the U.S. GDP data for Q4 2022 and the consumer sentiment data, which will be released on Thursday and Friday. Regardless, Bitcoin has remained steady in the upper $22,000 range. Several top analysts and investors believe we could very well see a rally to $25,000 in the coming weeks or even days. What are your thoughts on Mark Yusko's Bitcoin predictions and market outlook? Please drop your comments, observations, and short and long-term predictions for the leading crypto asset in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our other crypto-related videos. Thanks for watching.